How's it going, guys? I just wanted to go over a little bit of my impressions of the guitar. Now, I did buy this to replace my main electric guitar, which originally was a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24 SE. So, obviously, I have a preference to this guitar. I won't be completely biased on it. I do want to be honest with a couple of shortcomings on the guitar, as well as some of the things I think are pretty awesome. To start out, we're going to go over the build of it. It is a mahogany body with a roasted maple neck and fretboard, and the fretboard and neck are bolted on through a 5-bolt system on the back of the body. I really like mahogany bodies and all maple necks, so this is a real no-brainer for me as far as a guitar build selection. Now, the tremolo is what Sterling calls a modern tremolo. So it has 2-point fulcrum, and then it has a 3-spring, not in a arrow shape, but in a parallel shape to each other in the back cavity here. The nice thing about this is the cavity for the tremolo is routed out behind where the plate sits on top of the block, and that means that you can actually pull back. Now, it also drops forward for decent dive bombs as well. Now, as far as the electronics go, we get 2 humbucker pickups. They, as far as I could tell, are not branded pickups, so they have no affiliation with any type of brand or anything like that. You get a 3-way toggle switch, upward position neck, middle neck bridge, and down we have just the bridge. Then we have our master volume, which is a push-push 12 dB boost. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, it means it pushes the signal by 12 decibels and gives you a slightly louder output. If you're playing on a clean channel, this gives you a nice crunchy type blues tone. It could also be used in other scenarios, but I have found that when you have distortion or gain up on the amp, it is far less noticeable. And then we have our tone, master tone, and it's fairly responsive. I typically leave mine all the way up, and if I want a darker tone, I switch pickups. But it does work. And then down here we have our input jack, which is just a plate of metal that has been bent to the contour of the body. It works really well, and there's no complaints about this so far. It's a little hard to get the jack cable into the input, and sometimes I've noticed that I'll be playing and all of a sudden the sound cuts out, and it's just because pushing this in was a little bit difficult. But that just means that it's not going to wear out too fast. Another interesting thing about these guitars is they actually have, if I get a little closer, the truss rod adjustment between the neck pickup and the neck itself. So that gives you a little bit easier access than something on the headstock of the guitar where you have to take out a little plate here and then adjust it with an Allen key. Now, the headstock and tuners, headstock is also roasted maple. The tuners are a 4-2 configuration, which is very common on Musicman and Sterling instruments. And then we actually have 6 locking tuners. I've never actually used locking tuners before, and I have to say they are quite nice for a quick restring. The nut, I couldn't find very much information on it. I'm kind of upset about that. It's not bad. It does feel like it would be some sort of plastic infused with graphite, but I could not find anything on it. It could be a full like Graphtec type nut, or it could be just plastic. I really don't know, but it doesn't seem to be locking up or anything like that, especially with use of the tremolo system. The frets, they are medium jumbo frets, and again, I couldn't find very much. I'm pretty sure they are just plain nickel frets, which is really not too uncommon. If you look around, you might find some guitars with stainless steel frets. Those are pretty good. They don't wear down as easily, but it takes quite a while for nickel frets to wear down. On top, we do have a quilted maple veneer, and this is in the Neptune blue color. That is pretty much everything to do with this guitar. So why don't we go ahead and hear how it sounds through a clean channel. I'll switch to the pickups, and we'll see how it sounds. Alright, so my overall conclusion of this guitar is it is a phenomenal feeling and playing guitar. I really enjoy how it feels in my hand. I'm a big fan of the kind of just bare maple necks, like I said, and mahogany body is just something that I've always gravitated towards. Now, one thing, the biggest downside I would say, and the one thing I would have to complain about is the pickups. The pickups are a little nasally, I guess you could say. They sound very kind of muffled, and there's no definition. I would expect a lot of definition in a bridge pickup. I should be able to hear all the highs, all the mids, and the lows should be there, but not booming. And then when I switch to the middle pickup, I expect to have a little bit more boost in my bass and have a little less clarity in my treble, which it does happen, but it's very subtle. When I switch to my neck pickup, I expect to have a very boomy bass, a decent mid, and then not so much clarity on the treble side. The neck pickup, I think, does its job fine. And then the bridge pickup, I feel like, is a little bit underwhelming. And I wish they would maybe throw something better into the guitar that has a little bit more definition to it. If the pickups were a little bit better, I think it would be far more worth it, but there are features of it that you wouldn't necessarily see in guitars at that price point, such as the locking tuners or the easy access truss rod adjustment. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more awesome reviews, maybe some guitar tutorial videos and things like that. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comment section below. If you think I'm an idiot, that comment section is there for that as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys.